Hey, this is Joe Castiglione, and you're listening to Not Another Sox Podcast. Can you believe it?
Yankees suck! Yankees suck!
Buenos noches, amigos, and welcome to another episode of Not Another Sox Podcast. I'm Jack Webster here with our producer Ian Doran, coming at you live from Providence, Rhode Island. Fellas, let's win the AL East. Why not?
Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
do you think we can? I don't think we should be losing games to the Pirates, personally, but...
I know that doesn't go a long way towards it, but you know what? We're 2.5 games out. We have 2 extra off days that the other teams don't have from games that we've already played. So I like our chances. You know, obviously come down to the very end, I'm sure, but you know what? There's no reason why we can't right now.
Careful.
I know.
What do you mean, no reason? When you say...
Well, there are actually plenty of reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, you know, we still have a lot of work to do, and it's even a little bit out of our hands at being behind. But I'm not afraid of the Yankees, and
I'm
yeah.
praying for the Yankees, actually. That's the team I want to play.
yeah, no, absolutely. I want at least I want to face them at home, or get the first round bye.
I do, too. But I also catch myself every time I'm saying, there's no reason this team should, and then they do whatever. There's no reason to do whatever the thing is that they're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
They're really good at that. Like, incredibly good at that. But I don't see any reason why we couldn't win the AL East if this team just kept their head on straight for another 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the tinglies here a little bit about this team.
You're getting the
I know
tinglies?
the series loss to the Pirates sucked, and you know, we were rolling a little bit before that. So you know what, I'm starting to really believe, like, you know, we're in September now, we're in a playoff spot, and you know, there's an actual cushion there. So we've seen it happen before, obviously, but
Right.
it's at least a lot better than the last 2 to 3 years where, you know, like they just collapse in August.
Actually, I guess they didn't really collapse in August this year, did they?
No.
They went a little over 500 in August.
Yeah, no, they stayed in it. I don't know their exact record in August, but like it was, I'm willing to bet above 500.
Yeah. Well, their record compared to the last few Augusts.
Oh yeah,
Way
like
better.
where it's like you win 3 games.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like last August, I remember as the talk of the town last year. It's like if you won 1 of every 2 games, you're in it, and they lost 2 of every 3, and this team is not losing 2 of every 3. They're losing some very questionable 2 of 3s, but like earlier this or last week now, I guess, walking away with the sweep from the Orioles, that's 4 wins. That's really good. Unfortunately, balances out with like the 2-3 series loss against the Pirates. But yeah, this August team is better than 22, 3, and 4 August teams. Bar none.
The bar is so low.
Yes.
Yeah, the lowest it can be.
It is on the floor.
Yeah.
But we have all kinds of exciting stuff to talk about tonight. I was debating wearing the same jersey and nothing else. But, you know, it seems like a pretty good time to start our fit check.
Yeah.
What are you wearing tonight?
Yeah, I got a little Astros City Connect here, the better ones, the old ones with the Space City and everything. And we got one of my favorite players of my generation, Jose Altuve. And I know a lot of people are still kind of butthurt about 2017. Even though it's like proven that he didn't do anything, but my advice would be get over it. So
I was gonna say that's a hot take. You like Jose Altuve?
yeah, I do like Jose Altuve. I'm really hoping that Astros cheating scandal doesn't keep him out of the Hall of Fame, because he absolutely has the numbers to make it in as a second baseman.
Also, I mean, I guess now is as good a time as any to ask your perspective on the Astros cheating scandal. On a scale of 1 to 10, like how cheating was that cheating scandal?
Oh, it was a solid like 7 to 8. Yeah,
Gotcha. So an actual
were
scandal.
They were definitely cheating. Yeah, but you know, I'm just over it at this point. Like, there's no reason to like keep talking about it, or like Yankees fans and Dodgers fans will just cry about it forever, and people forget the Red Sox also lost to the Astros in that playoff same year in the ALDS. So like we got just as cheated as them, but the truth is, you know, so many teams were doing, you know, different variations of sign stealing and, you know, bending and breaking rules. So I don't think anybody's closet was clean, but they were a little too blamed about it.
Yeah, it was kind of part of the game. It still is kind of part of the game. Like sign stealing is one thing that you do, but I guess they were doing it, you know, very not good.
Sign stealing itself is not against the rules. It's the method they use. They use like illegal electronics and like cameras and
gotcha.
Yeah. So like you can like it's harder to steal signs now with the electronic thing on the wrist, but it's not against the rules, so there's no exact rule about saying like, oh no, you can't do that. Yeah.
So now with the pitch comm in the hat, right, and the catcher kind of putting the little text message on his wrist that tells the pitcher's hat to throw what pitch.
Yeah.
Do you like the pitch comm?
Yeah, no, I think it's good. It was so funny because obviously, you know, we'll talk about it, but Chapman got an extension.
Yep.
And part of the reason he says he's been so good this year is because, like, in spring training, Connor Wong actually gave him, like, instructions of where to catch the ball. Instead of just, like, throw it right down the dick, like, because it's 102, he's like, inside fastball. And Chapman was like, oh, yeah, what if I just located the baseball?
Oh, yeah. What if I just... What?
Yeah, like what? Oh, what if I actually threw it in a location where I know they can't hit it? And at age 37, how is this the first catcher and like first team to be like, yeah, try the inside or outside?
Right.
Yeah, and like it worked. That's the craziest thing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Crazy. Isn't it so funny when you're like, hey, what if you tried playing good?
Yeah, like, oh, what if you just did this better? Yeah.
Oh, why
Yeah.
didn't I think of that?
Oh my god, it's so simple. Why didn't I think of that?
I have been racking my brain trying to remember like where that initially stemmed from. Like, where does that joke come from where you're like, hey, what if you tried doing it good? Like, where does that originate? Because in my brain, I've been looking for the reference.
Yeah, I need that too, yeah.
Because the one I can think of, at least off the top of my head, is in SpongeBob when Squidward's playing the clarinet and the jellyfish get really, really pissed off. And SpongeBob goes, hey, Squidward, could you maybe play better? I don't think the jellyfish like it. And then all the jellyfish sting Squidward. It's a metaphor for playing good.
That's fair. I guess we should talk about the Chapman signing, though, because like it came out of nowhere, it felt like.
It kind of did, moving in silence like the G in Lazagan.
Yeah. There was like one thing of Craig talking the day before, like, oh, yeah, no, Chapman loves it here, and, you know, he's been great for us, and then just, like, all of a sudden, you know, you get an extension with a vesting / mutual option for 2027 as well, and, you know, it solves a problem for next year already. Like, he would have probably made more money if he just went to the highest bidder, but he says he wants to retire here, so you know what?
Right.
Like, being a piece of shit aside, like this is as good of a year you're ever going to see from a reliever. And, you know, I will gladly sign up for a chance on that again next year.
Yeah, I was looking at his numbers a bit too. Well, when they announced the signing, they posted some of his numbers, and it's like over 50-something innings. He has a 1.09 ERA and a 40% strikeout rate. I'm like, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, I'd say that'll do it. How do you feel about the signing or the extension?
No, I mean, it makes a lot of sense for both sides since he does kind of want a little stability late in his career, gives him a chance to win as well, which I think is, you know, important to him. And, you know, he's a guy that, like, when we signed him, obviously, you know, a lot of Red Sox fans freaked out, including myself. Didn't like it at the time. And, you know, it has been a great baseball move. There's zero doubt about that.
It is a baseball signing, period.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely a baseball signing.
But no, like literal video game numbers from a guy that you were expecting to like maybe be a setup man or just like your high leverage lefty, and then like, you know, we don't really get a closer like Kirby Yates or Tanner Scott, and then it's like, oh, Liam Hendricks is gonna be the closer, and then he died.
Right.
Yeah, actually I shouldn't joke about that with Liam Hendricks.
Yeah.
But it came out of nowhere, and now he's having maybe the best season for a reliever in Red Sox history. Like, it's getting to that point where, like, he's getting even, like, better than, like, Koji in 2013.
Which is so exciting because the Chapman we are seeing this year is not the Chapman MLB was seeing in recent years. Like, recent years, it was only throw fast, and it was a lot more walks, a lot higher walk rates, a lot of pitching ineffectively in hitters counts. So, I mean, Chapman he is probably on the cusp of Hall of Fame. He holds the record for fastest pitch ever thrown in MLB. But to know that this year we got the best version of Chapman that he has been in the last, 5-10 years. Incredible.
His career, really, like, he had some, like, very dominant years early on.
You think this is a career year for Chapman?
I mean, we're getting to that point where, like, yeah, it is. He is surpassing, like, the wins above replacement, and his ERA could end under 1. It's at exactly 1 right now. Like, he's given up, 6 runs in 60 innings.
Yeah,
that's preposterous, or whatever the math, or 54 innings. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's the math.
Math.
And, like, 0.67 whip, like, insane strikeouts, not a lot of walks, not a lot of home runs. Like, you just wonder, like, where it even came out of, like, at that point. Or came back from, really.
Yeah, he found it. And there are so many conversations to be had around Chapman. We talk a lot in the apartment about, like, the strength of his character, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Like, if the morality of keeping Chapman around is worth...
The guys seem to love
worth
him.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing we talk about a lot is, like, the clubhouse loves this guy.
Yeah.
As far as, like, getting himself in trouble off the field, he's kept his nose clean. He's been in therapy. He's given up drinking.
He's grabbing his grandma's titty.
Yeah, that's still kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's enough therapy for that. But as far as, like, the guy we knew him that got in trouble and unfortunately is, like, a permanent mark on your record, the guy he's been this year off the field as well has been good.
Yeah.
Has been good. I'm glad they like him in the clubhouse. I think he brings a certain level of leadership to this team too, because we have talked about, as have so many, Chapman is a guy that gets you to the postseason. Yeah. He is. And he not only is phenomenal this year, but he is one of the most decorated playoff pitchers of all time. So
he does have 2 rings, I guess. I thought he only had 1, but he did win 1 with the Rangers too.
He does, but more so, he plays a lot of October baseball. Whether his team wins it or not is something else. But Aroldis Chapman at almost 38 is no stranger to the postseason, and he is a guy, I mean, especially the way he's playing this year, a guy you sign that gets you to the postseason.
Yeah, no, and I'm excited to see what he does in the postseason too. Like, I'm sure, like, if there's a close game and he strikes a dude out and he's doing that pose, it's gonna give me goosies. Like, I'm not gonna lie,
little goosies. Yeah. I was a little annoyed with it at first. I was like, that glare's kind of dumb, and now I'm like, stare him down. Yeah, look at him,
burn his soul,
burn him. But speaking of, like, bullpen extension, bullpen activity, I guess.
Oh, one more thing about
Chapman.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
He's only making $1 million less than Jordan Hicks next year.
Yeah, Chapman. That extension costs nothing.
Yeah.
Looking at the numbers of that extension, 13.3 for next year, like, that's phenomenal. For this guy.
No, absolutely. He could have made more in the open market for sure.
He could have. Isn't Edwin Diaz the highest paid reliever out there?
Yeah, he is, and that's a stupid contract, but yeah.
It is. No. Who doesn't love Edwin Diaz? But on the other side of the bullpen, Bailey got his right arm back this week in Justin Slayton. We saw some quick effectiveness out of Slayton, and then, maybe some of the returning to the field pressure kind of got to him a little bit. But I'm excited for Slayton to be back. How do you feel now that he's back from injury and ready to play again?
Yeah, no, I think he's going to be a great addition to the bullpen. There's no doubt about that. Maybe he isn't quite the closer that some people thought he might be just through, some of his like electric stuff and, his pitch metrics being like through the roof. And that's obviously, why Craig and company targeted him. But I think, all the potential in the world is there. I think he's a very solid guy that you can trust. A little bit, having to come back. He had a few minor league games and, he's kind of thrown right into the fire. The Red Sox don't have too much of the luxury of, easing him back in. Like, it's like already high leverage because there's some other guys that you don't trust in that pen right now that you thought you might. So he might be, one of your better options out there.
I mean, that's one way to put it. I would absolutely trust Justin Slayton over maybe minimum 3 other guys in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Up to 4. But I like Slayton. I still think there's a greater closer in Slayton than there is in Jordan Hicks.
Oh, yeah. No, Jordan Hicks right to the sun. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're ready to wash your hands of whatever that cost was?
Yeah.
He's really not good.
No, and I just don't really see it getting much better.
Same.
Yeah.
I see it getting much worse, actually.
Yeah, no. I don't know how much worse it could truly get, but like if the playoffs started today, I have a hard time putting Jordan Hicks on one of the 26 best players on this roster, especially with some of the young pitching that we have. And, you want your best stuff out there, but you can't trust him unless if you're just going to throw him in like garbage time and like be like, hey, you're actually multi-inning now, which they haven't done with him at all, which is a little surprising.
I don't think he's multi-inning just with the heat.
I mean, he was a starter. Like this year even he was starting.
He was, but they pulled him back because he wasn't very good at that.
Yeah.
And now if he is trying to throw 100 miles an hour, I don't think he can throw 100 for 2 or 3 innings at a time. I think he could do like 94 to 96 for a few innings at a time. But I don't think Jordan Hicks is going to be receptive to that. I think he's going to go out there and try and throw 100 every single time.
Yeah, and it's going to go right to the backstop, or it's going to be left right over the middle of the plate. And
wait,
yeah,
Jordan Hicks, Jordan Hicks from before.
The same Jordan Hicks from before. Yeah,
he. I liked him at first, but I am not seeing him even out the way that Chapman's more than evened out. But the way that Chapman has, the way that Slayton has, the way that Wilson has, the way that Bernie has, like the guys who hit their peaks and valleys and then hit the plateau and just hang out there far surpasses the valleys we have seen out of Jordan Hicks' performance out of the bullpen.
Yeah,
he is butt ass, straight up butt ass.
If not now, you got to move on in the offseason. Like this is a guy that you can't really trust.
When you say move on in the offseason, is next year a mutual option or no?
No, he's just guaranteed $12 million or $12.5 million each of the next 2 years.
Why?
Yeah, because the Giants are dumb, and the Giants signed him to this, and then like somehow got Rafael Devers, and like convinced us to like take on that whole contract.
Yeah. Is it worth it?
I mean, at this point, he's just hurting you by being on the team.
By being on your fucking team, like
you're paying him either way, but you might as well pay him to not like actually hurt you at this point.
Yeah. Do you think that we trade him in the offseason, or do you think there's any reason to? Because at this point,
who wants him? Like, who want me? 0%. Yeah.
Understood. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
I just don't know how we get rid of his contract. Like, granted, $12 million shouldn't really mean anything to this team, and it's not going to clog up how you
You would have to trade it for another bad contract or add a prospect for like a team to eat a few million off of it.
Is there any prospect that's worth a few $1 million?
I mean, probably.
Jordan Hicks contract?
Yeah, I'm sure you could trade like Alan Craig, or not Alan Craig.
Alan Craig.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, wasn't that an old Daniel Tosh cartoon, Alan Craig?
I don't know. Alan Craig was the guy in the John Lackey trade. Who am I thinking of? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Alan Castro. I was thinking of Alan Castro.
Oh, wasn't Alan Craig a pitcher for us too? Like not good one?
No, he was a bad hitter for us. Yeah.
I mean, aren't we all just bad?
Yeah.
But the other guys that we have, Chapman is back, Slayton is back. We obviously have some other really big news, but like while we're on the subject of the bullpen, with the roster expansion, we called Zach Kelly up.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, I'm very surprised he was the first call for the bullpen.
I think it's just a stopgap because obviously we have to talk about Peyton Tolley too.
Right.
But it sounds like they want to keep him on a little bit of extra rest, so he's not going to start Wednesday. He might start Friday instead. So Kyle Harrison was scratched from his start today, so it's probably just Zach Kelly for like another day or two until it is, Harrison, and he could just be like, the sacrificial lamb out there, essentially.
The sacrificial lamb.
Like, like if a game went to garbage time, he's just pitching like 2 to 3 innings and like trying to save your bullpen.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can only hope that's the case, but before we get to Tolley, I guess what's the eye in the sky about Harrison these days? Is he ready?
I mean, it says a lot when they are calling up Peyton Tolley above Kyle Harrison. Like, and obviously Peyton Tolley absolutely electric.
Total dog.
Yeah, like
Big fan.
probably the right move, but the fact that it was such a quick piggyback or leapfrog, I guess, over Harrison.
Right.
Says they're not, the most confident. I do want to see what we have in the major leagues before the end of the year. But even like, with some of his recent success, it's been, a bit of luck and, still some walks and,
Right.
hard hit contact in there. So we'll see what we have. I think, the Guardians are a good team to kind of face in, a start like that. We're not necessarily the most, like Astros or Dodgers or something like that. Like, it's a team like on the playoff fringe around 500. So I kind of like that, but I guess really kind of the bigger news is obviously we got to talk about Peyton Tolley.
Peyton.
Yeah.
Peyton.
Paying the Troll Tolley.
The Troll Tolley.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Troll Tolley. Well, let me tell you, guys, we're paying the Troll Tolley.
Yeah, that was as excited I've been for a Red Sox pitcher to
Oh
be called
my
up.
God,
And
dude.
maybe in my life. Like,
And he shoved. He just fucking shoved. Five and a third, 8 strikeouts. I mean, does it get better for major league starts?
no. Well, I mean, the only other start I can think of like that was, very probably even more hyped up was Steven Strasburg's debut back in like 2010, where he did strike out 14 dudes, which is as good as you're gonna get over like 7 innings. So that one might have been bigger, and he was like the number 1 prospect and first all-around draft pick. But at least for the Red Sox, they're like, it was exciting when like Bayo came up and Cutter Crawford. Was, like, kinda in a
I felt pretty
mix.
excited about Brian Bayo.
Yeah, Tanner Houck. I mean, he came up during 2020 and looked all right then. But this is like probably the first pitcher that we've had in the top 100 prospect, and like not only that, like top 50 of most lists, where like he gets called up. He has that obviously massive ascension from like being drafted last year to being in the majors, which we'd never see with Red Sox prospects.
Right.
Yeah. And like just him looking like a fucking dude out there.
Dude, it's the stash. It's the fucking stash. Tell me it's not the stash.
It's inspired by Tom Selleck. So
is that confirmed?
That is confirmed.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's fucking go. I thought you were just
It's
saying
a
that
good
because
look
it's
for him.
uncanny.
He does not look 22. He looks like a full
He looks like a man.
40-year-old man.
Like a man-ass fucking man. That's what he looks like. And for him to make the start against probably one of the Cy Young favorites in the NL, probably the Cy Young favorite now that Wheeler is going on the IL.
Yeah.
I so badly wish I could have been in the ballpark for that game.
Yeah, that one would have been electric, especially against like Paul Skeens and, kind of you're looking at the weather to see if it was going to work out for you that night, because it was like a little bit of rain all day. So like that was very hype, it was very hyped about it. I did have to miss the very beginning of the game. I was at Chili's with my girlfriend's parents, but
did they like you, by the way?
I hope so. Yeah,
I
like
hope they
them.
did too.
I like them.
Yeah, big fan. But anyway, you were at Chili's. Couldn't watch the Pirates play the Troll Tolley.
We came back, and thankfully I got to watch, Greg Weishart come in, and
Okay, yeah, Greg Weishart's been good, right? right?
The numbers are good, but like he's so annoying sometimes, and I love him. I've always stood up for him, but like that was one of the more deflating moments of the season.
I gotta say, one of Weissart's specialty pitches, at least anecdotally, what I have noticed, one of his specialty pitches is this incredibly consistent hanging slider. He loves throwing it to guys who love to hit it as hard as they possibly can over the fence or to the wall and cost us games, and I think he has perfected the hanging slider. Maybe that's just me, because Weissart's been a dude for us in a few situations, but I feel like I get a dude out of Weissart maybe 60% of the time, and I want that 85 to 90% of the time.
Yeah, and it's a hard life for relievers.
It
too.
is.
Like,
it is.
you obviously notice the blow-ups like that, and, technically two of those runs were Tolley's as well.
Right.
So, like, he only gave up the one of his own run, but, I hope that he comes back and he's kind of that dude where we see for long stretches and we're not overusing him and he's effective, but right now you kind of have to not use him as like your seventh inning arm. Like it's a little bit of a lower leverage role, and it's hard when you have Jordan Hicks that's also in that same non-high leverage spot, so you kind of have to count on some guys that are still good but fringe, like Steven Matz, who's been great with us, and like Bernardino, who can be up and down sometimes too, and I'm trying to think of like who else is even in there. Justin Slayton's actually been really good for us. Yeah. But
you didn't say Jordan Hicks.
I did. Well, I did, but in the bad way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But sorry, you were saying, so bullpen, we're looking at Matz, who's been good. We're looking at Bernie, who's been good. How does that relate to Weissart's role on this team today?
Yeah. So, I mean, he's right now he's earning himself a garbage time role. Like,
yep.
Or like if you're losing, or like if you have to use like a firefighter in the fourth or fifth inning, he did come in today and got one out in the eighth inning. So they want him to be that dude too. So yeah. But especially since I think Whitlock must have been unavailable today.
He must have been, but he did pitch really well in the Pirates game that we won.
Yeah.
Which I still can't believe we dropped 2 or 3 to the Pirates, and somehow Andrew McCutchen was our greatest nightmare for the Pirates series. I thought he was washed, and then he handled the Red Sox kind of on his own.
I know.
He's like, I'll do it myself.
Well, the one thing I want to say about Whitlock is he's been doing this silly little thing recently where he's like, he's allowing a leadoff double and then just leaving him. It's so funny every time.
Yeah.
Like it's like a 1-run game, like runners on second and third. He's like strikeout, ground out, and that's that. Yeah. It works every time.
It's like he's playing Russian roulette, except there are 4 shots and 3 of the chambers have bullets. Yeah. And somehow the lead runner misses the one with the bullet, and the other ones are like, oh, there can't possibly be more bullets in here. Yeah. And then he shoots the other 3 to death.
Yeah. I like that analogy. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Russian roulette with a gun that has only 4 chambers and 3 of them have bullets. I don't know if there's a gun that has 4 chambers, but then again, I actually don't know a lot about guns.
We don't have guns,
We don't. With Tolley's performance in his first major league debut, do you believe, now that Walker's been released, and we'll talk about that a bit more after we come back from the break, now that Walker's been released, do you think Tolley is the 5th starter, period?
Yeah, I think, he's earning that spot, really, right? If depending on how he does, like, he might be your 4th best starter, even.
Yeah.
I think he's playing himself onto the playoff roster for sure. I don't think they call him up if they don't intend him to, because they had to be on the 40-man, by September 1st. And, I think doing it at the end of August made sense. Like, you don't have to just add them and then wait a week. You actually get to see what you got in it.
Yeah. I am excited to see more of Peyton Tolley, especially because the strikeout numbers are great, and that's kind of what we need.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what his workload is too, because you got to manage that his first year of professional baseball.
You do. I'm trying to think of what his pitch limit would be. Probably between 90 and 100. I wouldn't put him out there for more than
Yeah,
100.
they were having him like 60 to 70 in the minors, or at least in AAA, and they went up to 80 some odd pitches in the majors, or in his first start. So we'll see if they kind of keep it at that, or maybe expand it, or even once the playoffs roll around, maybe he's like more of a 2 to 3 inning, like 40 to 50 pitch guy. So I think no matter how you use him, that fastball is as good as you're gonna see in the majors in terms of like it's not only velocity but just like movement and deception to hitters.
Yeah, absolutely. So in a minute here, we're gonna go to a break. But firstly, I wanted to do a shout out. We received a little outreach from Believe and from our sponsor team and company. We want to talk a little bit about Delete Me, which is this great service that's been provided. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. So, as podcast hosts, if we were to talk about the great things that Delete Me could do for a reasonable person, how do you feel about like deleting all of the passwords of yours that maybe found their way to the deep web?
Yeah, no, that sounds super convenient. This is the first time that we're welcoming Delete Me onto the show. So the more I was reading up on it, I was like, yeah, I guess I should do that.
That's really great.
I was like, ooh, like that does make a lot of sense. Like,
use that.
Yeah, so.
Right. So what I'm going to have you do, so if you take your mouse and on the right side of the screen where it says media assets, go ahead and click on that. I just uploaded one for Delete Me, so we're going to add that to the stage here. It should pop up as an overlay in the top right side of the screen. So try clicking on.
Oh, yep, we got it separated.
Okay,
corner of the
fantastic.
screen, yeah.
Fantastic.
I
So-
couldn't quite see it. I didn't know what I was looking for.
Yeah, I know. We really got to make our screen bigger.
Yeah.
But top right corner of the screen, this is the company Delete Me. The New York Times Wirecutter has named Delete Me as one of their top pick for data removal services. And it's specifically regarding how data brokers make a profit off of your data. So your data being a commodity that is bought and sold at levels that you and I would never really see. Like it exists so far out of the public eye. So we're really glad that this was the ad that came to us, because honestly, I might sign up for it myself.
Nah, I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm gonna.
Odds.
1 and 1.
1, 2, 3, 1. Yes!
Oh, man.
Now you have to delete your data.
Yeah.
So if you want to delete your data, use Delete Me. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Now at a special discount for our NASP listeners, you can get 20% off your Delete Me plan by texting HIT to 64,000. The only way to get 20% off is to text HIT to 64,000. That's HIT to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. So again, this is the logo in the top of the screen here. Text HIT to 64,000 and start removing some of your data from places you don't want it to be. Would you like to guess the commercial?
Mountain Dew. Yeah.
Let's go to commercial.
I didn't have it today.
All right, back from commercial.
Yeah, I forgot about this new bit that we were doing, and I just saw the Mountain Dew in the corner. I was like, I didn't have it ready today.
Didn't have the Mountain Dew in the corner. So coming back, before we had gone to the break, we were going to talk a bit about Walker Buehler, who was the guy released for Peyton Tolley. And we had talked about how the decision to release him was likely because he is a dude. He's a great guy, and I bet the Red Sox wanted to do right by him and release him so a team could pick him up for the postseason.
Yeah, I think that plays somewhat of a factor into it, but at the end of the day, it kind of did make sense. Like, Walker, he's had a few good starts here, but even, during a lot of his good starts, it's a little bit of a tightrope walk, and all the under the hood metrics were a little bit still just like last year, where you're not seeing that jump back to his old self. So I don't wish him I don't wish him any ill intent, or wish him the best, obviously, but it just didn't work. And
didn't.
that that sucks for both sides.
It does. And we got some good stuff out of Bueller. We also got some really bad stuff out of Bueller. Really, really hard to take those chances with this team. And releasing him when they did, like maybe the Red Sox were showing him a courtesy. You had to make room for someone else to come up. Totally was the right choice because you needed to bring him up here anyway. And now Bueller has officially signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. And I am terrified that he is the guy we are going to see playing against in the postseason.
Well, I mean, that would mean we're in the World Series.
Yes.
So that's already a good thing.
Yep.
I'm not. I think they would probably use him as a bullpen arm too. So they assigned him to AAA for right now. Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think they just want to get him like a starter to kind of back in the swing of things,
Mm-hmm.
especially since it's probably been a little while since his last actual start at this point, and
Right.
he had the one outing out of the bullpen, but that was even like a week ago at this point. So it's probably just to get him like fine tuned. But am I terrified to see him in the playoffs? Not from what I've seen this year, truth be told. Especially if he's a guy that we know, and obviously would be in a good position in the World Series. But I don't think he's going to be the high leverage guy, even if the Phillies do make it into the playoffs. Like, he's going to kind of be more of your bulk guy if it's a blowout either way.
And the Phillies needed a fucking pitcher like crazy.
Yeah, they did. Now, it made a lot of sense, especially, with Zach Wheeler being done for the year now.
Which is such a heartbreaker.
Yeah, that one sucks. Yeah.
That does
I
suck.
love Zach Wheeler. He's one of my favorite pitchers to watch.
But they're still a competitive team. Like, I still bet the Phillies make it to October baseball. Bueller, if he finds himself in their rotation, like, they really need it. If he finds himself in their bullpen, they also really need it. Like, their bullpen is not good.
No. Well, they got Johan Duran now, but
Right. And Orion Kirkland has been good.
they could definitely use the help. It seems like just such a typical Dave Dombrowski move, and I love him for it. Yeah,
Davey, baby. Well, wish Walker the best. I loved him here in Boston. I would love to see more of him, but hope he does well on the Phillies. And I don't think we're going to see him. No. I don't think we will. But with
because the Phillies don't make it, we do make it to the World Series.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't think the Phillies beat the Dodgers or the Mets or actually kind of just those two. I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But
Brewers are really good this year too.
Oh fuck! I always forget about them. It's probably because of Quinn Priester.
Yeah, probably.
You know Quinn Priester?
Yeah.
Quinn Priester. He was a Red Sox.
He was. Yeah.
Quinn Priester.
I actually just got a notification before we went on. Nick York just got called up for the Pirates.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah. He hasn't been up all year, and he just got called up. So
yeah. How are we supposed to trade without him in all of our trade scenarios?
I know. So sad. He a true legend.
I will be tuned into his first couple starts. I'm not going to put any stock in Nick York, but I mean, everyone was trading
If you weren't
him.
able to make it up to the Pirates this year, then yeah.
And Manuel Valdez did, and then he broke his something.
Yeah.
And
That's
good.
exactly my point.
Yeah.
If Emmanuel Valdez can and you can't, yeah.
Remember when Emmanuel Valdez was like +6 defensive runs saved at first base?
Yeah, but despite being like 5'5".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he really that
No,
small?
he's like 5'7", 5'8".
A first baseman that's height starts with 5 is pretty rare.
Yeah, no, it was surprising, but very funny at the same time. It's very, very small sample size too.
Definitely. But like, again, with rosters in mind, we talked a bit about the Zach Kelly call-up in our roster expansion. Ali Sanchez was another part of that roster expansion, and I'm speechless.
I laughed so hard when I heard it because it's like Red Sox are calling up Ali Sanchez. I was like, oh yeah, I guess they traded for him last minute, and like it just wasn't even announced. And like you forget that you could do that with like minor league trades at this point of the year still. So whatever. Like
right.
I will say the one thing it let us do today is Connor Wong was catching, and I believe it was like the 5th, maybe 6th inning when Nate Lowe came up against a lefty, and it let you pinch hit Carlos Narvaez, and then use David Hamilton, move some other guys around. So like you didn't have to worry about who if like, you know, Connor Wong got hurt that game, who would catch her? Like, it wouldn't be Abraham Toro, you know?
Right.
Like, you have an actual body you can put out there. So I kind of like that. Like, that was the one thing from today that I was like, yeah, having a third catcher makes sense, even if like he's not playing at all. And like your other bench guys and your other everyday guys, you know, they're gonna do their roles too. So at the end of the day, you know, the 27th and 28th man don't really matter too much.
Yeah, but the fact that neither of them were Christian Campbell is what kind of threw me for a loop.
Yeah, I think they still want to get him every day at bats, and he wouldn't get that in Boston right now, especially you know, with some of the positional like question marks being filled with like first base and kind of second base, and you'll have Willier back up soon anyway, so we'll even see what they end up doing there. But you know, he is a warm body. Zach Kelly is a placeholder for Kyle Harrison, and then we'll see what they end up doing after that. Like, you know, there's a reason why these guys aren't on your roster already. It's not like, you know, you're calling up anybody crazy. And for Christian Campbell, he's had a lot of ups and downs this year. I don't think they want to ruin it by like calling him up and like hurting his confidence going into the offseason. So I think that they pretty much are going to be all set on for this year and just hope for, you know, the best next year and kind of figure out first base, you know, if that's the position, or they've been playing him in the outfield and playing him at second. So I don't think they really know like, like what they're doing right now with them, which, yeah.
You're right. But it also leads me to kind of a scary question now that you bring that up. What is the backup plan for Trevor Story, who has been phenomenal still? What is the backup plan at shortstop?
I mean, yeah, it's got to be Meyer. Like,
well, this year Meyer just went to the IL.
I mean,
60.
I guess it would be David Hamilton.
But he's the only guy I can think who can actually play that position as a defensive player.
Yeah, and you know, he's fast. He has a lot of range. I think, you know, he could be better at shortstop than he has in the past. He's like one of the elite defensive second basemen this year too. Like in limited roles, like it's kind of crazy, but. I think, you know, if he did go down, then there's no replacing Trevor Story at this point, which I didn't think we'd be saying a few months ago.
Right.
Yeah, but I think he would probably have to be the guy there. But, you know, at this point of the year, Trevor's played probably more games than he has in his Red Sox career, and, you know, produced and 24 home runs, 24 stolen bases plus. Like, he is, you know, kind of doing it all right now. So, like, if he goes down, then that's a whole big other problem. But we're in September. Nothing's happened. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Yeah. Speaking of Trevor Story home runs, that was the most wild call I have seen today in any home run hit, I think, ever.
Yeah, no, that one was crazy. It didn't look like it hit the pole at first, but it definitely did. They showed it from another angle, and it like showed it a lot better. But yeah, that it was such a weird play. Like, you know, or like, oh, is it fan interference? Oh, is it like a double? Oh, is it foul? Like, oh no, that's a home run. Yeah.
Right. I was laughing so hard. Yeah. We were taking bets on the couch, and Christy was like, who is visiting us this week? She goes, what do you guys think that's going to be? Take bets. And you're like, that's a double. He spiked that out. That's a ground rule double. And I was like, I don't know. I think he hit the pole. If he spikes it into the pole, is that a home run?
Yeah, I guess it is.
I'm going home run. And then they called it a home run, which was so funny. And I had to ask, is it technically legal if an outfielder is going to catch a home run that they spike the ball foul and call it a ground rule double?
I guess technically it would be. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. They might call you for equipment violation or something, because like there are weird things about that. So I don't know where that would even be in the rule book.
Right.
Yeah. Or like why you would do it if you could like hit the ball. Why don't you just catch it?
Right.
Yeah. Or like, you know, deflect it even. Like,
right. All the umpires in our listeners, by the way, in our audience, let us know.
Ump. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, you were a lead ump?
Little league ump.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for like a year.
Did you enjoy that? I had a few friends who did that, and I actually kind of hated them when I was a kid. But
I did it when I was a little older. I was like 16 or 17, and it was fun. It was exhausting because like you're out there in the hot
Right.
summer, and like you're doing 2-3 games a day. So
wearing full get
yeah,
up.
you're getting hit by foul balls, and I was in like I was first starting off, so like all these kids are just throwing ball four every time. Like,
Right.
Yeah, it was fine. It was decent money for high school though, so hard to complain.
Who's that guy that always talks about the pitchers who are throwing gas and then he goes, ball?
Yeah,
That's a ball.
yeah,
Ball 3. 4 balls.
yeah. That's like definition Jordan Hicks.
Yeah. God, I don't like him.
Yeah,
I hope he gets better. They say he's handsome. I think he's annoying.
I think he is handsome. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Dude, I'm so proud of you.
yeah. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Trevor's Story, I hope, stays on this team because he's producing offensively.
Yeah, you're getting into that, like, does he opt out range at this point?
You're right, which
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't. Honestly, I think it's a better idea for him to stay because he's making really good money.
I would,
doing what
if I
he's
had
doing.
to say, he probably does end up staying one way or
Yeah.
another. But
I also
yeah.
think psychologically, like, there's a certain level of sunk cost fallacy or guilt that he might feel because he missed 2 full years of baseball after being signed here. So I wonder if he opts back in just to try and like prove to us and to every baseball watcher out there that he's a man of his word, that we're getting our money's worth, quote unquote, of him playing
Yeah.
shortstop. I also think he likes it in Boston.
Yeah, I think he does too, and he obviously is a good leader for all the young talent that we have, along with Alex Bregman, who we should make sure that we keep here as well.
We extend.
Like we're just like extending dudes, and like I hope like we see more of it, even if it's not like right now, like even like at the beginning of the off season, so you don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. And David Hamilton reminds me a lot of your dog. A lot of speed.
Because he's annoying.
Yeah. He's got a lot of speed. He loves catching the baseball. Not a lot of thought. Not a lot of thought in his head, and somehow gets thrown out at second despite being in like the 99th percentile of speed.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's doing that. But you know what? I gotta say, I love me a little D Ham.
Yeah, no, despite him being at his absolute worst this year, he's still somehow a positive production player in terms of wins above replacement. Like, he is still somehow like giving you enough defense and enough like base running value even with his fuck ups, like, and his horrible batting where he's like, yeah, he's not technically hurting you, but like you could do so much better.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's also directly responsible for 2 wins this year, isn't he? At least. I mean, there was
At
the
least
Rays
one
one.
of them, yeah.
And then didn't he hit a little pop homer last week? Like a bloop homer. And wasn't that the only 2 runs of the game was the one that he hit?
I don't think it was the only 2. I think that was in Yankee Stadium the first night, but
Oh.
yeah, I think the funniest one was like last week in Baltimore where like he hit a pop up and like the left fielder just messed it up and they counted it as a double.
Right.
Yeah, and they're like, it counts all the same, but like, hey, like that like he got credited for like 2 RBIs on that. It's just like, oh, I didn't even really do anything. Yeah.
Do speed guys have better batting averages because they could turn more of what would be errors into singles?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot better BABIP usually. Like you saw it with like Duran last year, especially where like you're like, oh, he shouldn't be batting this high. Yeah, because he's beating out all these infield hits, and that's they count all the same at the end of the day. So yeah.
And Duran's had a bit of a down month. He's walking a ton, which is great. He had an inside the park home run.
That's right. Yeah, that was very exciting.
Dude, he took off. And we have, 2 now this year between him and Willier?
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
And he, standing up, crossed home plate, he was so psyched, dude. He let out the war cry, and he was like, yeah!
Yeah.
I like Jarren Duran, and I think he should continue to bat high in the lineup.
Yeah,
even
no,
with his
I think
struggles.
I think 3rd or 4th is usually good for him, depending on who we're facing. But yeah, he's making it a lot harder to just be like the automatic man out in the off season too. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Obviously, we've talked a lot about it over the whole season. It feels
Yeah.
like at this point.
Well,
but,
it's all we can
yeah.
talk about. We have 6 outfielders.
I know. Yeah.
We don't need 2 of them.
Yeah. So our team's better when he's playing better. There's just no other
That's
way
just
to
how
say
it goes.
Yeah, like
Yep.
he can be that spark plug sometimes.
And I'm really glad that they didn't trade him at the deadline, especially now with Will You're Hurt. We just got Ref Snyder back, who's been effective right away as we knew he would be. But we were down to 4 outfielders, and I'm really glad Jarren Duran was one of them.
Yeah, no, like we're still seeing Nate Eden get like starts out there somehow, which
Yeah.
is very funny. Yeah,
It is. He's good.
Yeah, he's fine.
I like Neaton.
Yeah, like he obviously when Willier comes back, it's going to be Ian, the guy that gets yeeted. But for right now, he does his role and he does it fine. Yeah.
He gets yeeted over Ali Sanchez.
Yeah, because
I
you don't
think
need.
so. Yeah.
It's just the positional thing. So
Yeah. That Orioles series made me feel so good.
Yeah, no,
while
that
we're
one felt
talking about
great.
it. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and every game was kind of close, but like you still won them. And Orioles, like they haven't been great this year, but they've been good recently. So you actually
And they've been good against us.
and they've been
recently.
good against us specifically. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Which we're so good at losing to not good teams. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I hate us.
I know it's very annoying sometimes, but we are above 500 against teams that are above 500. So that's all you can really ask for. Like we
Right.
are beating good teams too, mostly the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I thought you said good teams.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Yankees
yeah.
suck. A lot of really great things in that Orioles series. Crochet with the day game, fantastic as always. Gio and Bayo, also just 2 unbelievable games in Baltimore.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Crochet, it was obviously effective, and like he got a big double play from that one Trevor Story line drive, which ended up saving the game pretty much.
Right.
So
Incredible defensive
yeah,
play by Story.
So it wasn't his vintage complete game, whatever, or 15 strikeouts, but even at his worst, he's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we saw another few starts from Bayo and Giolito today, and you have those great starts, and then you have what you need to do, where even if it's not your best stuff, you're giving 5-6 innings, 2-3 runs. There was a few walks from both of the guys today, and worked out of trouble, but that's what you need. You need these guys to bend, not break, and when you have 2 guys that could. You feel confident in being your 2 and 3 in the playoffs, that can actually take you a long way.
Right. And the fact that it's a debate between who's your 2 and who's your 3 in the playoffs just makes me feel that much better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you'll have more arms too. Peyton Tolley's almost certainly expected to make it. You'll probably see Dustin May out of the bullpen a lot too, which hopefully improves him a little
Yeah,
bit.
hold on. Let's take a pulse on that. How do you feel now that we're seeing a bit more of the Dustin May experiment?
I mean, you had 2 good starts in there, but the other 3 starts have been very bad, and you still have an ERA above 5 and a FIP above 5 in his 5 starts, 5 starts. So, when you're weighing the good and the bad, he gave you 2 good chances to win, but 3 other chances where he just kind of blew the game.
Has he really already gone 5 starts?
Yeah, he has.
Wow, where was I?
I know, right?
But-
Probably drinking.
Yeah, I love drinking. Just kidding. It really hurts my tummy.
Oh yeah.
But I did go to a batch party over the weekend, which was great. Had a great time. My buddy's brother is an Emmy Award-winning video editor for baseball. I think he
MLB Network, you mean?
Yeah. Well, he was working freelance with them, but still won an Emmy in doing the video editing for him. And I walked into the bachelor party house, and he was like, "Ian, you don't know shit about Peyton Tolley. What do you know about Peyton Tolley? Shoved. You don't know shit."
Yeah.
I was like, "Man, I fucking love this guy.
Yeah.
We're in for a good weekend." And he goes, "Hey, you got to let me be your Sea Dogs correspondent. And I got to let you know that you don't know shit about Mickey Gasper. You don't know shit." I was like,
I
don't
know
think
about his parents.
Yeah, I don't think he plays for us anymore, dude. He was like, "I don't care. I don't care. I'm putting on the highlights." And then he put on the 2004 ALCS highlights. Brought back memories.
Sounds like a dude. I would crush beers with him.
You would love crushing beers. You'll meet him at the wedding, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Good chance I've watched a lot of his stuff since I watch a ton of MLB Network. So.
Oh, you've definitely seen his
Yeah.
stuff. He did a lot of things in the 2020 and 2021 era with them.
Oh yeah, then I definitely did. I wasn't doing anything else then. So
Mhm.
yeah.
But anyway, sorry to pivot back to the Orioles. The last thing I really wanted to talk about in that Orioles series in particular was the stupid fucking idiot things the Red Sox are doing. Like when they thought there was a home run and it was still inside the park, and Duran and Cedon couldn't communicate who was catching this ball, and it just
Oh yeah.
plopped.
I was at Creed that night, so I didn't get to watch that one.
Oh, you were at Creed.
Yeah, and then but I did between Daughtry and Creed, I was able to follow the Cedon home run at least. Yeah.
With arms wide open.
Yeah, no, they saved their 4 songs for the 4 last that they did.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, they kind of have to. Why else would you stay at a Creed concert?
yeah, no, but you know what? It was worth it. I had fun. Yeah,
But anyway, then Cedon repays us at the end of the game. We're down 2-1, and he has Duran. Duran made it to first base. They're pitching to Cedon, and they asked him what was happening, and he said, "My only thought was I'm going deep." And then he hit this fucking piss missile right out of the park.
he just has the ability to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
And like it was his first home run since the All-Star break, and like what a moment for it.
Right. Welcome back, Rafaela Enjoyer, by the
Yeah,
way.
well, welcome
Happy to
back,
have
yeah.
you. Yep. And then he just grabs the controller and he leans in, and this guy locks in, and boom. Really happy to have that out of him. He needed it. He has been so cold with the bat in the last few weeks.
Yeah, and I think that also comes from just shifting him around a little bit. We've seen him
Right.
play a little bit more center consistently since Willier's been out. You can trust Romy there. D-Ham is at least, like we were saying before, positive production. You can move guys around. So I think for at least right now, you got to keep Cedon on center.
You do. How has he been at second base? I got to pull up his stuff, but I feel like eye test, he looks really good at second.
Yeah, no, he's very serviceable out there. I don't have the numbers either, but he will not embarrass you out there most of the time. But when you have still just the best defensive center fielder in baseball, what are we doing? Actually, he is +1 defensive runs saved and 0 outs above average at second base this year.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the same thing. So he's a positive defender at second base, and obviously the Platinum Glover out in center field.
Yeah.
I become happier and happier with his extension every time I watch him play.
Yeah, no, that's still worth every single penny. I just hope that we keep him in center all of next year, which was supposed to be the plan this year too.
Right, and we're very fortunate that Duran also plays an effective center, but that's Cedon's house.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's literally nobody better in baseball than him.
Really?
Yeah, I think even on a per inning basis, he's better than PCA out there.
Who's PCA?
Pete Crow Armstrong.
No,
Yeah.
he's nobody.
Yeah,
He means nothing to me.
at this point, yeah.
Actually, he had a fun little interview in the All-Star game. You know his dad was there?
Wow, the
Yeah.
actor,
Yeah.
like
No.
Lucas Giolito,
What?
or his mom's the actor. That's right. Yeah.
Lucas Giolito's parents are
I
actors
know.
in Hollywood?
I know. Yeah, you're not gonna believe this. His grandpa was on Seinfeld.
What's next? Cam Booser's a carpenter?
Oh man, yeah, Tyler O'Neill's dad, Mr. Canada.
What?
Yeah.
Funny thing about Danny Jansen, by the
No.
way. The only guy ever. How is Boozer doing in Chicago?
Bad.
Ooh.
I was looking at it like a week or two ago. It's not good. So
Do you think that's him or do you think that's the White Sox?
I think it's a little both. Like we got a lot out of him last year, and the White Sox are bad. So
Right.
The fact that we traded away Cam Boozer for
Yorker Fiardo?
I never know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, I always think
Yeah.
Yorker shoes from that one jersey I saw at Savers that one time.
Yeah, exactly. And you sign Justin Wilson for $3 million or literal nothing in MLB money,
Right.
And he's been even more effective. That was a Galaxy brain move.
It was. And Craig has a really great eye for pitchers. I don't know if he looked at Boozer and he thought what he's pitching at is unsustainable, or if he thought I need younger talent, and then the White Sox ruined Boozer. I don't know where
It would be
eye took
funnier if he
place.
said, "I need younger talent," and then signed 36-year-old Justin Wilson.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I think happened before the trade, but you still get the point. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We were so mad because they jumped on Justin Wilson so fucking fast, and
Yeah.
we were like, hold on. There are so many more pressing needs that are way better out there. But you know what? I was wrong. Justin Wilson, he is one of my favorite guys out of the pen right now.
Yeah, no, you can definitely depend on him. He has been a guy where, he has been our most high leverage lefty. And now you can kind of balance it out a little bit more with Matz, who I know gave up a home run today. But, he has been very effective for us, too. So between those two guys, you always hear, in the pen, oh, we have 4 lefties, between Wilson and Matz and, either Bernie or Moran and then Chapman. But I don't really count Chapman in there.
Right.
It's just he just happens to be left-handed. He's your closer no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm not counting him when I'm constructing the rest of the bullpen just because he's left-handed. That doesn't matter with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The other 7 guys, you can figure it out. He's your 9th inning guy, period.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're talking about lefties in the bullpen, it's not like you're pitching Chapman in the 7th. He is your 9th inning guy. So I don't even put him in that same group. Your closer's different than the rest of your bullpen. Same with the setup guy.
Yeah. And Chapman's also your highest leverage guy. The only reason you call him in the 7th is if it's tied 0-0 in the playoffs.
All bets are off.
Yeah, no rules.
And he's, I'm sure, more than willing to do that too.
Right. And stats stop counting, or Hall of Fame stats, I guess, stop counting once you hit the playoffs.
Hey, it's whatever the voters want. A lot of voters, probably decided to vote on Mo because of his Hall of Fame stats. So
yeah, definitely. I think players who play in the postseason have a greater edge with the MLB writers for the Hall of Fame. But you
the
don't
Hall of Fame number should count for my John Lester narrative.
Why don't you just be a baseball writer, dude?
Yeah, no, I should be a baseball writer, be a part of the union for 10 years, and then get my vote.
Right, and then retire.
Put
that life behind you. I do have a game for you.
Okay.
It's a very short game, and we're also both going to play. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's a little mashup with the batch party theme I had over the weekend. If you were... Oh, man, your battery is running low. You know what? I'll riff. You can go ahead and plug that in. That's totally okay. And I'll explain the game in regards to the batch party. But for the time being, all of you listeners can hear the sulky tones of my sweet, sweet radio voice.
We're good.
Jack Webster. All right, buddy. Hold on.
Okay.
Come on in.
Yeah, we're doing.
Yeah, we're doing this.
Laptop
little
died.
Post. Yeah. All right. So here's tonight's game, and I'm so glad that we can actually put this as its own clip online. If you were to hide a Smirnoff Ice anywhere on the baseball field, not the dugout, not the bullpen, on the Fenway baseball field, where would you hide a Smirnoff Ice that a player would find it and have to chug it?
I would say in between some of the steps of the ladder.
So you want Jarren Duran to find it?
Yeah, Jarren Duran, you can have a nice watermelon Smirnoff Ice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's way better than where I was going to hide it, actually. I was going to hide it in the scoreboard where they switch things out. Also for Jarren Duran, when he goes back to say hi to everyone, and there's a Smirnoff Ice right behind the scoreboard.
Yeah.
That's where I'd hide a Smirnoff Ice on this field.
Yeah. You could also put it right in the triangle, right at the right, as far as you can go. I mean, Duran almost hit that with the ball the other day, but you don't see many go right in the middle of that triangle. It would be a good spot for it.
I totally agree. Great episode this week. All kinds of good stuff with baseball. Hopefully we see even more good stuff from this team as we head towards October. But Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
Any final words?
Balloon.
Any better final words?
Nope. No.
Okay.
Okay.
I love you. No,
Okay,
I love you.
bye.
Okay, I love you. Bye. Okay, I
Okay,
love you. Bye.
bye.
Okay, I love you.
Okay,
No, I love you. Okay, I
bye.
love you.
Balloon.